Here's the question I have. Here's the question I have. Who should Dr. Umar do a versus with in the so-called conscious community? Because there really isn't one. Who should Dr. Umar do a versus with in a so-called conscious community?
Oh, that's good, everybody. It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Jump. The opening clip that you saw there was Dr. Umar Johnson inside of a car. And I mean, I like Umar for some of the things he says, but I mean, Umar is looking dustier and dustier each and every day. I think that's quite obvious right now. And Dr. Umar Johnson is looking for any reason to raise money for the FDMG Academy, challenging, Mike Tyson to a fight, challenging Freddie Gibbs, or accepting the challenge from him. But then he starts naming off a list of people who he could do a versus with, and this comes because of Big Daddy Kane in KRS-One had a classic versus the other day, and Umar Johnson wants to do a dustier version of the versus, a conscious community version, and he says that there's nobody in the conscious community on his level. Stop the show. What level is that? And again, it just, I'll come back to that level, or so-called what it is, whatever it's supposed to be. He named off some people that he that can't see him. Tariq Nasheed can't see him. He talks about that Candace Owens and Jesse Lee Peterson should be a handicap match. Rizza Islam is not on his level. But he without mentioning Kevin Samuels, and which is what the topic is today. So what I'll do is we'll kind of play the entire clip that I want to splice out, and then I'll come back to the issue with this today.
Here's the question I have. Here's the question I have. Who should Dr. Umar do a versus with in the so-called conscious community? Because there really isn't one. Who should Dr. Umar do a versus with in a so-called conscious community to raise funds to renovate the Honorable Frederick Douglass High School? Who should Dr. Umar do a versus battle with? Y'all naming people who don't even have no type of intellectual platform whatsoever. Y'all just want to be entertained. Y'all not naming nobody. Y'all know I don't with Lord Jamal, so I don't even know why y'all bringing his name up. He's not an intellectual anyway, so he's not on my level. Kevin Samuels, he's not an intellectual, so that would be a waste of time.
So you heard what he had to say. Now, again, he says that Kevin Samuels is not an intellectual, so it'd be a waste of time. But, I mean, I want to talk about intellectualism in the black community versus intellectual in other communities. If you're an intellectual, you're a person that is an academic or a thinker, okay, or a person that is, accomplished. We would see that in some of your actions, right? And when you say your level, I want to know what that level is. I mean, like I said, you're getting dustier and dustier every day. You're a guy who is not a builder. You're completely broke, it looks like. You continue to beg for cash apps and all of the other stuff because you don't have any community around you that can provide you the financial support to sustain anything because you're terrible at business. You're that dumb to believe that you're the king of consciousness, of being woke, but you're really the king of being dusty and broke. That's really what it is. And you are the stereotypical, what is the trope of the African American male, or the negative connotation that goes behind it in general, because when it comes to speaking or athleticism or sexual ability, these are the things that a lot of times black men brag on. So when you say that we're not on your level, or someone that's not on your level, it's basically the ability to rock the mic, or the ability to woo people with phrases, or to woo people with words, or to woo people with social commentary, or even political commentary, because you have that charisma and the charismatic personality. You talk about having hoes or sex, you'll see black men brag about that. But when you look at their track record of building things for the communities that they say that they love, or the communities that they represent on an intellectual platform, which is like the conscious community or some kind of academia that focuses on solving black issues, you will see no progress of that. Because in the black community, standards are so low, you can say that I'm on your level in a dusty car, living in broken apartments with a school with back taxes, and say that no one's on your level. This only happens in the black community. Like, this is how low a standard that some of us have, right? And this is not to be mean, but it's very true. Imagine Umar in the Asian community, and there's many different versions of the Asian community. There's even like in India and Pakistan, and he's a guy in a car with millions of dollars donated to him with nothing to show for it, really. He's not accomplished anything. And imagine you're the person that says you're not on my level. What would people in certain Asian communities say? What would people in certain Jewish communities say? Or in European communities say? They will say, you're a joke, and you should not even have a platform to speak. Yet Umar Johnson can still continue to get invited to the Breakfast Club while he's looking dustier and dustier each day, and have the nerve to tell people that you're not on that level yet. You're not on his level. What level was that? The level of being broke? The level of begging? The level of trying to raise money because you're dusty? Like, what level is that? And this is what black men are typically talking about when they talk about you're not on my level. The level of it doesn't even exist. The level is complete brokenness and dustiness, and it's all about focusing my efforts on wooing the crowd. Okay? It's all about focusing my efforts on making somebody, like what I'm saying and give me money for it. It's nothing about infrastructures or building systems or building things that other people can use. Umar Johnson is a narcissist. There's nothing that he builds for other people to benefit off of. He builds things for him to benefit off of. That's why he doesn't have anybody in his circle that advises him. I doubt if he has professionals that help him. He's a person that will destroy anything onto himself because he's that kind of person, right? He's just an idiot in many different ways. And not to say that academically he doesn't make certain points. But the reality is that this is where Umar Johnson is at. And when you're broke and you have failed and you have the nerve to say that nobody's on your level, how dumb do you sound? And you have people who actually believe this. Like, you actually want to see him do a versus. He shouldn't be doing a versus. He should be doing a curses and getting cursed his ass out. Where's the school? Where's the money? Where are the people that you lied to? Where are the professionals that you didn't build a community around to support your efforts? What have you done for the black community, which is nothing? Why do you even have a platform to speak on black issues when you're a complete, utter failure? That's the things that we should be talking about here. But when people are not that bright enough to understand that, then we don't talk about those things. That's the problem. That is the fundamental problem with Dr. Umar Johnson. He doesn't want to build anything. He wants to be known just for charismatic phrases, just for the oohs and ahs, and he talks that, and most of the other guys that he named, outside, I think, like Killer Mike, David Banner, I believe, does some things, but most of these guys that he talks about, Tariq Nasheed has the museum, which is incredible, because Tariq Nasheed just raised $1.7 million. How is he not on your level? It looks like he's above your level because you can't even do that. I mean, you're dusty in the car begging. I mean, and again, it's just, like a commenter said, getting dustier and dustier every day. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.